Lemon mead. Is it delicious or disgusting?
I have a question though. If lemon wine is called skeeter pea, would lemon mead be called BP? Not sure that makes it even more appetizing. But this was started back on November 19th of 2020. Today is January 28th of 2021, making it December, January, coming up on about 3 months. Okay, so it's not really old. It's pretty good. Yeah, we're at like 2 months and a week. It actually went lower than some of ours do, 1.022. A lot of people have been asking for the final gravities. It's 15.5%. It was bottled, about half an hour ago. So it's very fresh in the bottle. We're going to give it a taste.
Now, as we've started most recently with our tastings, this is at room temperature, so that way we can have the full spectrum of flavors available to us. You should drink it however you wish to.
As we always do, first, clarity, or lack thereof.
It's a little bit cloudy.
Yeah, we're starting to see that anything that uses a yeast hull style nutrition, like fermento, yeast hulls, seems to make things a little cloudy. I don't know if that's actually a true correlation, but it seems to be an observation we've had. Nothing we've done with yeast hulls has actually gone perfectly clear. That kind of one of those things that make you go, Now,
as we've said multiple times before, this doesn't really bother us. As long as it doesn't have floaty chunk things in there that make you go, ooh.
Yeah, it's not pea soup.
It's all right. It does have a pretty amber color rather than a true yellow, golden.
When I think of mead, back in the day, like in a mug, and it's not supposed to be a really clear liquid in my head. It is, actually, but this is what I think of as mead. It kind of looks like this, a little bit cloudy, kind of like a grog, On the smell, I get lemon. Right off the bat, I get the honey.
I just get a floral note.
Orange blossom honey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make sense.
Now, this isn't a very complex mead, okay? This is just lemon zest from 4 lemons, some black tea, which was dry hopped in here. We didn't pre-steep it, which is a different thing. And orange blossom honey along with some fermento. And we did use Premier Blanc yeast this time, which is a little bit of a change for us. Just wanted to change it up and see how it went. I'm impressed with the way it fermented. It actually fermented pretty quick, even though we left it for quite a long time. The aroma, though...
It's different from any of the other meads we've made before.
Yeah.
It definitely has that lemon punch with a little floral note. So it's... Brian said lighter. It's like lighter and heavy at the same time, if that makes sense.
Smells like lemon pledge.
It smells like fermented lemon pledge. It does. You know how...
A little better than that.
Lemon pledge has that like oily essence to it?
Yeah.
Because that goes into my brain, now I'm feeling like this is going to have an interesting tactile...
Okay, I need to put my disclaimer up. Lemon is not my favorite flavor, okay? I like orange. I am tolerating lime, and lemon is growing on me, but it's not quite there yet, so I may be slightly more harsh than usual.
I, however, can drink limoncello till I fall face forward on the floor.
And, no, she hasn't.
I have not.
She did grab the whole bottle one time, and I was like, what are you doing?
I was taking little tiny sips from it because I knew he wasn't going to drink from it, so I wasn't going to dirty a glass. But it offended his sensibilities, and so I quickly remedied the situation.
Anyway, so, you ready for a short sip?
I'm going to attempt a short sip.
We're just going to acclimate. You just put it in your mouth and swallow. She has trouble with this because she wants to savor it. Just put it in your mouth and swallow. What's your initial impression on the short sip? Apparently not good.
I just messed up my makeup.
No.
I smushed my eyes thoroughly. My initial impression is kind of bitter.
Yeah, it has a bitter flavor, definitely.
And I'm wondering if that's from dry hopping the tea. I'm wondering now if that was a bad decision.
I said in the last video that it kind of reminded me of the tea wine or tea mead. It has that flavor to it, and it's not truly objectionable, but it is a little bit more bitter. And I think the fact that this is only 1022, which for us is on the drier side, exasperates that a little bit. So you do taste it as more bitter. Plus lemon can be sour, bitter. So I think all those things put together are making it a little bit on the bitter side. I'm not hating it though.
Yeah, and now that I'm thinking about that further, I'm wondering if dry hopping on its own isn't necessarily a bad idea, but dry hopping tea into a lemon-based beverage might have been a bad idea.
Now we're saying dry hopping just because it's the same method as putting hops into a brew that's already done.
We didn't pre-steep it, we just dumped leaves in there.
It's just tea leaves put into the thing with it. Okay. I'm ready for the longer sip, and then I'll give a more tasty notes. On the long sip, it's improved. I still get a little bit of the bitterness, but it comes in sweeter.
For me, I'm not getting the sweetness up front. I'm getting this really weird, discordant lemon, acidy, sourdy, tea, tannic, bitter battle at the very beginning.
Interesting.
And it's a little jarring. And then I'm looking...
So I get that in the middle.
I'm looking for more from that because I'm like, I don't like this place. I want to move from this place. And I do move from this place into more of the traditional mead flavor profiles with the honey and some citrus. And the orange comes in there slightly to calm the lemon down. And the tannic properties kind of go away. And then in the end, I'm getting that tea tannic cleansing thing, but there's still a little residual honey mead residue, for lack of a term. I know words are not working today. And so it's making me sad. It's making me want something different.
I'm getting a little bit different experience. When it comes in for me, I taste the honey right away. And then the discordant thing that you're talking about, I get that, but it comes more towards the middle. The very first thing I get is the floral and honey right up front. Then I'm getting the orange. It almost tastes like the pith of the lemon, even though I know there's no lemon pith in this. The lemon pith, orange flavor, a little bit of honey, but almost just the bitterness of it is when it hits me there.
I was drinking this when you were describing it, and you said the pith of the lemon, but I think because it's got the lemon and the orange, it's more like the pith of the orange.
But there's no orange pith in this.
Right.
None. There's no citrus
but the
pith
sensation is like
it's pithy.
The unpleasant part of the orange rather than the juicy, refreshing part of the orange.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm even getting that of the lemon. I want it to be light and refreshing, and it's really not so light or refreshing. It's surprisingly complex.
Oh,
The flavors aren't really something that work well.
It's not the right direction.
It's interesting though. I don't hate it. I mean, I can see cooking with this really nicely. There's a lot of dishes that this would work quite well in. As a drinking mead though, I have my doubts. I need further research and exploration.
I know what's coming next, and that's the dreadful numbers, which I don't like.
No, actually we talk about would we drink it, would we cook with it.
I don't like numbers, but I'm prepping for the part I don't like, which is the numbers. I have to mentally prepare for the trauma they're going to put me through.
I want to talk about something though. The normal bitter note that I get from honey fermented isn't really coming through on this. I'm actually getting it more towards the middle rather than at the back end, which is a little bit weird for me because I know this is honey. I mean, I made it.
Yeah, I'm getting more of the tannic and the coating of the honey.
See, I'm not getting tannins. I almost don't taste tannins at all. I don't have the mouth pucker effect. Maybe I'm just getting used to tannins. I've been drinking a lot of black coffee and a lot of black tea, so it's entirely possible that I'm adjusting to more tannic things. I'm not hating this, and it's coming across drier than you would think, too. That's probably part of the issue. I think aging will make this a million times better. I think those flavors will meld together and mellow better. There's hope there, is what I get. It's got good bones, like they say, you know?
The concept is sound, and I'm thinking about the kind of things I drink when I'm sick. When I have a head cold and I'm just not good. A dear friend of mine who has unfortunately passed away would always tell me to make a tea with lemon like tons of lemon and honey. And the coating of the honey would help soothe, and the warm liquid would just make everything clear out. And then all the vitamins and stuff that's in the lemon would just make you perk up a little bit. And so that idea of a hot tea with lemon and honey is what I want to get from this, and I'm not getting that from this.
Okay. I see where you're going with that. See, I was thinking this should be light and refreshing. You're thinking the warm, comforting. So we approached it from different sides. That's interesting because that doesn't usually happen. I don't hate it though. I think it's an okay mead. I could see cooking with this with ease. Like anything, a piccata or a chicken française, a lemon chicken, anything.
I think it would even work as a marinade addition.
As a marinade for like pork or chicken would work great, or for tofu. But anything like that would work really. It would work really, really well for drinking with the meal. Again, anything with garlic, very oily stuff because it'll cut through that really quickly. Really fatty stuff,
or pairing it with anything that you use to cook.
Yeah.
With it.
Oh yeah.
Drinking with it always works well.
As far as pouring a mug of this and sitting and enjoy it, I don't know that I would. I don't think it's that. I would enjoy this with food much more. Excuse me. On to numbers. Do you have a number in mind?
I have a number in mind.
1, 2, 3,
5.
6. Okay, we're very close. That means we both went down quite a bit. I was accused of giving out too many 9s recently. Well, here you go. You were lower.
I am lower because the thought of what I want this to taste like does not match what it actually tastes like. But because I have that thought, and that thought makes me happy, I think that it's worthy of being an okay, which is 5.
In other words, realization did not meet expectation.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would have to say the same. I went into a lemon mead knowing that this was going to be a Derica mead, probably more so than a Brian mead. But at the end of the day, I was kind of hoping that I'd like it. And I don't hate it. Like I say, 5 for me means I'll drink it. Below 5, I probably would never drink it. So 6 means it's more than I'd just drink it. It's a little better than that. But probably wouldn't reach for it first. Now, what would I do to improve it?
Make a hottie toddy with it.
I mean to improve the actual beverage itself.
Oh.
I think leaving the black tea out entirely or just using a pre-made amount of black tea might have been helpful here. I believe the tea may have extracted, and I don't know. I feel like there's too much lemon.
I am wondering if you're going to use the orange blossom honey, then instead of just plain black tea, I might try something with bergamot, like an Earl Grey, to
I thought about that.
Infuse more of the citrus notes in there.
I was afraid of too much citrus. But you know what I would really do to improve this a lot is I would use less lemon and I would put some orange peel in with it. Because I think the orange would help to counteract some of the sourness of that lemon, and it might improve the flavor.
Sure, that would shift things more in your thought process.
We'll just still call it a lemon mead and call it a day.
But to shift things more in my process, it might need more lemon.
Oh. Okay. So that's the gist. This is a good mead. I mean, if you like lemon, you'll really like this mead. Don't let our scores throw you off, because remember, anything 5 or above means we drink it again. So you will see this get drank if you watch us on Instagram or on Facebook. You might see me drinking it, like maybe tonight. But it's not the best mead we've ever made. It certainly has room for improvement, and we may improve it someday, just because this is such a simple, basic, common mead. You would think, lemon mead, it should be pretty common, right?
Sure.
But I found that fermenting with citrus is more complicated than people think.
Yeah.
I still think with some age in a year, this is going to be really, really good. So that's why I'm holding out a little bit of hope and gave it a 6 maybe instead of a 5, because I think in a year it might be more like a 7 or an 8.
And we will find out in a year, and so will you.
But if you like this video, look up. There's another one. You might like that one too.